Hi guys, so it's uh good evening. Good evening. It's 23:59 in the evening and today is November 27, 2024. So it's been a while that I'm here. Um I'm kind of like it was so busy like for the past few days and I actually don't know what is going on. But yeah. So I already filmed these pages. I don't know what happened. Maybe I deleted it or something else happened. I don't know, guys. I can't find the video, so I have to read it for you. We are on to page 101 and 102 of the book Mastery. So, how are you? It's late and yeah, I have to be. It's late and I need to be here with you. Okay? So, um, yeah, basically, like, my headspace is full of many thoughts. So, yeah, let's proceed. Para hindi tayo let's focus. Um, at about the same time, Faraday was asked by a close friend to write a review of all that was known about electromagnetism for an established journal, and so he began a rigorous study of the field. Thinking like his mentor had, he speculated that there must be a way to physically demonstrate the motion created by electromagnetism in a continual fashion so that no one could dispute the results. One night in September 1821, he had a vision of just such an experiment, and he would put it into practice with a bar magnet secured upright in a cup of liquid mercury. So it is a metal that conducts electricity if you don't know yet, guys. So Faraday placed a suspended wire buoyed by a cork in the mercury. When the wire was charged with electricity, the cork moved around the magnet in a precise conical path. The reverse experiment with the wire secured in the water revealed the same pattern. So this was the first time in history that electricity had been used to generate continual motion, the precursor to all electric motors. The experiment was so simple and yet only Faraday had seen it so clearly. Stay with me. So yun, it revealed a way of thinking that was very much the product of Davis' tutelage, feeling the weight of years of poverty, crushed expectations, and servitude lifting off of him. He danced around the laboratory. This would be the discovery that would free him at last. Excited about what he had done, he rushed to have his results published. So when his haste to get his report out, however, Faraday had forgotten to mention the research done by Wollaston and Davy. Soon enough, the rumor spread that Faraday had actually plagiarized their work. Realizing his mistake, Faraday met with Wollaston and showed him how he had reached his results independent of anyone else's work. Wollaston agreed and let the matter drop, but the rumors continued and soon it became clear that the source of them was Davy himself. So he refused to accept Faraday's explanation and no one knew quite why. When Faraday was nominated to the Royal Society because of his discovery, it was Davy as president who tried to block it. A year later, when Faraday made yet another important discovery, Davy claimed partial credit for it. He seemed to believe that he had created Faraday from nothing and so was responsible for everything else he did. Okay, so Faraday had seen enough. Their relationship was essentially over. He would never correspond with or see him again. Now, having authority within the scientific community, Faraday could do as he pleased. His coming experiments would soon pave the way for all of the most important advances in electrical energy and for the field theories that would revolutionize science in the 20th century. He would go on to become one of history's greatest practitioners of experimental science for outshining the fame of his one-time mentor. So we have here keys to mastery. Nantok na ba kayo, guys? So here is the keys to mastery. At table, the ladies praise a portrait by a young painter. What is most surprising, they added, he has learned everything by himself. He could be seen particularly in the hands, which were not correctly and artistically drawn. We see, said Goethe, that the young man has talent. However, you should not praise, but rather blame him for learning everything by himself. A man of talent is not born to be left to himself, but to devote himself to art and good masters who will make something of him. So that was from Johann Peter Eckermann. It is conversations with Goethe or Goethe. I don't know how you pronounce it. Mala na kayo. Kasi ako, medyo inantok na ako, guys. I tried my best to film myself again, like, but sobrang hectic talaga ng week. Like, I can't even upload. And there are many things, guys. Like, sobrang ano na tayo. Don't like it. This kind of ano. I can't, if I'm not in the gym, I am not productive. So, hindi to pwedeng, this kind of routine is bad for my soul. So, yeah. But it's okay. It will end soon. So in the past, people of power had an aura of authority that was very real. Some of these aura emanated from their accomplishments and some of it from the position they occupied, being a member of the aristocracy or a religious elite. These aura had a definite effect and could be felt. It caused people to respect and worship those who possessed it. Over the centuries, however, the slow process of democratization has worn away this aura of authority in all of its guises, to the point today of almost non-existence. We feel, rightly so, that no one should be admired or worshipped merely for the position they occupy, particularly if it comes from connections or a privileged background. But this attitude carries over to people who have reached their position mostly through their own accomplishments. And so we live in a culture that likes to criticize and debunk any form of authority, to point out the weakness of those in power. If we feel any aura, it is in the presence of celebrities and their seductive personalities. Like myself. Nantok na tayo, guys. Pag ano nyo na, pag pasensya nyo na. So some of these skeptical spirit toward authority is healthy, particularly in relation to politics but when it comes to learning and the apprenticeship phase, it presents a problem. So to learn requires a sense of humility. We must admit that there are people out there who know our field much more deeply than we do. Okay? So their superiority is not a function of natural talent or privilege, but rather of time, and experience. Their authority in the field is not based on politics or trickery. It is very real, but if we are not comfortable with these facts, if you feel in general, if we feel in general mistrustful of any kind of authority, we will succumb to the belief that we can just as easily learn something on our own, that being self taught is more authentic. We must justify these attitudes as a sign of our independence, but in fact, it stems from basic insecurity. We feel perhaps unconsciously that learning from the masters and submitting to their authority is somehow an indictment of our own natural ability. Even if we have teachers in our lives, we tend not to pay full attention to their advice, often preferring to do things our own way. So, in fact, we come to believe that being critical of masters or teachers is somehow a sign of our intelligence, and that being a submissive pupil as a sign of weakness. Okay? So, ayan na guys. Natapos na natin. Okay? So, actually, nabasa ko na nga siya last time. You just have to redo it. Sometimes, ganun na. So, kind of like, um, walking on the same pattern of the same mistake. You know, just to make it right. Funny, no? But life is like that. Of course, when you are doing something wrong over and over again, something is over and over again. So, something is really wrong with you. So, as much as possible, we go on another path or another mistake. Iba naman, no? Huwag yung paulit-ulit. Anyways, sa ako na kayo chichikahin, guys. Kasi, um, I'm always sleeping late na naman. So, I'll need to be early later. Okay? So, wag na kayo masyadong mag-isip and ma-stress. Okay? So, thank you guys for having me. Tonight, ano ba? I'm gonna see you again. Okay? Ba yan? Naantok na talaga ako. Sige na, nag-iwan na nga ako.